Shalom. First foremost, I want to give all praises. I want to give all praises, glory and the highest honor to Yahweh, Bahasham Yahushai, Bahasham Chakadash, double honor to elders and apostles of Great Millstone. Shalom to the hopefully elect. This is Brother Raka coming back with a quick one in transit lesson, and I'm gonna be responding to this lesson by Eremanat Sakbad, James, South Carolina 08. IUIC manipulates Deuteronomy 22 and 25 to slander GMS, Bishop Nathaniel and Grape. So you see, that topic's in the Bible, but you have these cats, IUIC, they say the laws, the statutes, the commandments, but then they get emotional about the law. How the fuck does that work? Okay, Deuteronomy 22 and 25. But if a man find a betrothed damsel in the field, so meaning that woman is not single, she is in a relationship, you know, she has a man, and the man force her and lie with her, then the man only that lay with her shall die. So they only read this to say that the grape is not in the Bible. But wait a minute, they are not reading the whole scripture. In 28 it says, verse 28 it says, if a man find a damsel that is a virgin, which is not betrothed, so she's a single woman, she's a virgin, no, she don't got no man, and lay hold on her and lie with her, and they be found, you know. So that's, he lay hold on her, you know, he just took it, you know. So what's the consequence? Then the man that lay with her shall give unto the damsel's father 50 shekels of silver, and she shall be his wife, because he has humbled her, he may not put her away all his days. And I did the conversion in ChatGPT, you know, how much 50 shekels of silver, you know, during the time of, you know, King David and whatnot would be today. And if I remember correctly, you know, if you compare, you know, the economical situation of back then and now, it would be something like in the 5 figures, you know, 40k, 50k you have to pay to the father. So, you know, who the fuck has that in reserve? Who has 50k, 60k just laying in there in the bank? So this is something that you know, you don't want to just do, okay? But it's not a death penalty if you do it. But then these IUIC cats, I already know they're gonna spin it, manipulate it in a fucked up way. So let's listen.
Deuteronomy chapter 22 and verse 25.
Go ahead.
But if a man found a betrothed damsel in the field, and the man forced her,
And he forced her, meaning it doesn't mean he compels her or whatever, this and that, and he forced her, read,
and lie with her,
go ahead,
then the man only that lay with her shall die.
right, because he did what? Keep reading.
But unto the damsel thou shalt do nothing. There is in the damsel no sin worthy of death. For as when a man rises up against his neighbor and slay of him, even so is this matter.
So it says this matter of rape, right, a molestation, or whatever you want to call it, CSC, you know, they all put a different name on stuff. It's the same as murder. It's rising up and killing your brother, right? Now some camps, they feel like, no, that's not what it's talking about. You can do that in the kingdom or something crazy. Listen, it's crazy. Drop down to verse 28 real quick for the 3-letter camps.
Verse 28. If a man find a damsel that is a virgin, which is not betrothed, and lay hold on her,
Then they say that's the same thing as force her.
Of course it is. You lay hold on her and you take it. They're playing word games. It's clearly talking about the same subject, man. Why it's using the word force her in the verse 25 is because she has a man. Okay? So it's something you're going against the law, because that is then adultery. But if she's single, if she's virgin, and you lay hold on her, is different because she doesn't have a man. So you're not doing something worthy of death. What you do, if you take it, you just pay the father 50 shekels of silver.
For some reason, they think force and lay hold is the exact same thing.
Bruh.
If it was the same thing, why would they say something different? He's slandering GMS yet again. Now, it's important to mention that this guy doesn't specifically say GMS, but he says these 3-letter camps. And we know you talk about GMS. You don't have to say GMS for us to know you talking about us. So, we're going to get into this video. All praise to Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai Bahashem, Rakat Mudash, and double honor to the apostles and elders of GMS. Alright? Now, this video is going to be entitled IUIC Manipulates Deuteronomy 22 and 25 to slander GMS. Okay? IUIC manipulates Deuteronomy 22 and 25 to slander GMS. And it's a so-called rape thing. Now, I don't normally, we've been over this 1,000 times explaining it. And generally, I don't, even try to do videos addressing it because it's really not important, right? Because nobody's doing that, but it's in the scriptures. And what do? We defend the gospel. So, we got to defend the gospel. I just came across this video earlier today. And I see this dude, he goes by the name of, he calls himself Big Jew. I've seen one, on his personal channel. But this right here is IUIC Birmingham, as you can see at the bottom, IUIC Beham, right? So this dude was going to Deuteronomy 22, 25, and he just completely, and he did it on purpose. He read verse 25, maybe one more verse, and he jumped down to 28 and tried to make it seem as though because a man grabbed a woman and slept with her, he gets put to jail. That's not what it was. You broke it down wrong, man. Let's go.
Yeah, that's the point, man. It's because in the first case the man was put to death because it was adultery. So that was the problem. He took a woman that was already tied to a man, that already had a man, or a man had her, better said. So that's why he was put to death, man. But then in the second instance, when there was, if there's a same thing done, the woman don't have a man, or she don't belong to any man, and then you do it, then you have to pay the father 50 shekels of silver, and you have to keep that woman as your wife. You cannot put her away. So this was the custom back then. That's according to the law. Now we don't run around raping women. We understand that the current world system has different laws that we have to observe to live in these times. We understand this. Only thing is we are saying, from the heads of GMS on down to the affiliates, only thing we are saying that in the Bible this is how it used to be, and this is how it is according to the laws of the Bible. And we understand today's world system do not uphold the laws of the Bible. That's it. But these IUIC cats, they are emotional, bro. They raised by their single mamas, and they didn't learn to deal with their emotions at all. Okay, at all. To the point that this, crushing out in these different videos that they make, that they're not able to follow sound reasoning, man.
To it real quick, and let's read it. Now, if I know these emotional bitch-ass people that be on YouTube and the IUIC followers, you're going to try to make us out to be some type of demons just for even reading this, But it's in the scriptures, and we got, hey, all scripture, what does it say in the scriptures? Let me go to it real quick. All scripture is good, is profitable, right? Let's grab that real quick, Salakia, and I got to get that first. All scripture. You got a problem with something in the Bible, take it up with the Lord. And IUIC, really, they just still bitter because they can't get past the mark of the beast breakdown, and they keep fucking up in the name of the Most High. And these are guys that always talk about the law, yet every time you see them damn near, they're breaking laws. They round their heads and beards up. They constantly lie and break scriptures down wrong and refuse
to teach their congregation the true names of Yahweh and Yahweh Shai. Okay? And there's other things. So this is 2 Timothy 3:16. All scripture is given by inspiration of the Most High, and is profitable for doctrine, for reproof, for correction, for instruction in righteousness, that the man of the Most High may be perfect, thoroughly furnished unto all good works. Okay? So this is, all scripture is profitable. So we got to go into this. Now let's just get right to the point. So let's start at Deuteronomy 22 and verse, just bear with me here. We're going to start at Deuteronomy 22, 25. 22 and 22 is really where you should start at. If you start reading 25, you're not going to really understand it. You got to read up in 22. It says, if a man be found lying with a woman married to an husband, then they shall both of them die, both the man that lay with the woman and the woman, so shall thou put away evil from among Israel. That's adultery, right? If a damsel that is a virgin be betrothed unto a husband, and a man find her in the city and lie with her, then you shall bring them both out unto the gate of that city, and you shall stone them with stones that they die. Why? The damsel, she's getting stoned because she cried not being in the city, and the man because he hath humbled his neighbor's wife, so shalt thou put away evil from among you. So this sets the precedent, right? In America, if a man and a woman say that they are engaged, you still say, well, she ain't married. In the ancient world, that's not so. Being betrothed to a man, which is promised to a man, or engaged, you would say today, is good as being his wife. This is the reason why the man and the woman both, in this case, are put to death, because she's promised to somebody. She's another man's property, but this guy laid with her, right? And she didn't cry out, meaning what? That she was with it, okay? If she was not with it, she would be crying out. And it's going to give you that scenario next. It says, but if a man find a betrothed damsel in the field. Now, this is the second part of verse 24. Okay? He didn't read the first part. He read the second part. He started there. So let's go back to 24 and read that again. Then shall you bring them both. I'm sorry, 23. It's the second part of 23. If a damsel that is a virgin be betrothed unto an husband, and a man find her in the city and lie with her, then you shall bring them both out into the gate of that city, and you shall stone them with stones that they die. The damsel, because she cried not out. Why would she cry out? Because she's being forced to do something against her will. So since she didn't cry out, that means she was with it. Being in the city, and the man, because he hath humbled his neighbor's wife, so thou shalt put away evil from among you. Why is the man put to death? Because he's touching another man's property, right? He's committing adultery with another man's wife. Not because he grabbed a woman or he forced her. No, it's because he's sleeping with another man's wife. The act is adultery. Now, as you read on, but if a man find a betrothed damsel in the field, and the man force her and lie with her, then the man only that lay with her shall die. See that? But unto the damsel thou shalt do nothing. There is in the damsel no sin worthy of death. For as when a man rises against his neighbor and slayeth him, even so is this matter. For he found her in the field, and the betrothed damsel cried, and there was none to save her. Why does the man only get put to death? Because the woman cried out.
You see?
So she was out in the field.
You see, this should be so simple, man. So anyway, I'm out of time. On to the next one. Shalom.